people logging on already. People logging on already.
Where?
Yeah.
Where? It says 0.
No, it's just it has some.
Okay.
Tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead. Introduce us.
Hello, this is Sir Doyle, and this is my co-host, Mr. Luki, and welcome to another episode of Hospitalgate. Today, we're gonna, because of the worldwide popularity of the Tyson Galata fight that we covered, we're going to be talking about Mike Tyson and...
Nah,
No?
I'm not talking about that.
I thought we were. You want to talk about?
I want to fill out the healthcare proxy. Now, you said you don't want people to think that you're not capable of taking care of yourself, but I'm a health coach. This is what I do.
Gotcha.
And by filling out this form in detail, we're going to teach you and everybody watching certain lessons that only I can teach
Okay.
about health.
All right.
Okay? So, I'm not in charge of your life. This is just a form that basically states if anything's ever happened to you that you can't stand up for yourself, which you normally can do. Give us an example. I know people have tried to bully you in the medical system, and that's kind of what this show is about.
Well, this is so they can't bully me. This here, in case I do get locked up, you're.
But this is for them to consult with me.
Exactly.
If you're for some reason not able to speak up for yourself, but you can speak up for yourself. Just give us, before we get into this, give our viewers an idea of how you've been able to stand up for yourself in the medical system in the past. Maybe give us a story.
I represent myself in court.
How'd that happen? You represented yourself in court. Tell us.
I represented myself in court. There was a medication of objection. I represented myself, which I should have got in my favor, but because when you represent yourself in court, you're showing right there that you're competent. That's how Bernard Getz proved that he could go. He didn't have to go to an institution, but they find ways of manipulating you after that. Yeah. But it all went to my favor that I represented myself in court, because I can say that now.
Nice. So you represented yourself in court, and the case was they were trying to forcibly medicate you or something?
Yeah.
But they ended up judging against you?
Yeah, because it's supposed to be that the person in charge of the case, the advocate or the patient, mm-hmm. You couldn't go against them unless you're the advocate anyway. But I was my advocate and I was my patient. Mm-hmm. So I did this twice, so they had no business doing what they did.
Mm. I was watching a video today. The whole court system is a big scam.
Yeah. But what's good about this is this is like, if I went to a hospital again, I could tell them, well, you're my you're my healthcare proxy, and they have to do what you say, mm-hmm. and you have to do what I want to do, right. According to my wishes.
So this form that we're going to go over today is Sir Doyle telling me how he wants to be treated so that if ever the responsibility of his health comes to be legally under me, I'm going to be following what his wishes are. That's going to be dictated onto this paper here. And so legally, anybody who is in a position of a care provider, like a doctor or a nurse, something like that, has to go through me, who's going to be executing his wishes. Am I correct?
Yep.
So, let me get a little better angle so we can come in on the paper here. Now, any personal information that you don't want, we're just gonna skip over. We're just gonna go over the details of the actual paper here. Let's zoom out. Alright, so a little history about me, just so I could tell you how I became to be a health coach, and I have a unique certification as a health coach, which is why Sir Doyle has entrusted me, because you can go online, you can see other health coaches, and you can look at their menu. So first of all, you have the people who lie and say that they're not on steroids, but they obviously are. Then you have people who are not on steroids, but they have what's called flexible dieting, where they have cheat days. See, my opinion is that when it comes to health, there is no cheating. I would never cheat. For example, now Sir Doyle, his mom and dad are not me, but I still treat him as if he's a child, like a child of God, just like everybody is. I'm a child of my parents, I'm also a child of God. So I take care of people as far as their health goes, like they're a newborn baby. I would never give junk food to a newborn baby. I would never vaccinate somebody. I'm against those things. So I don't have cheat meals, and I'm 100% honest, and I'm going to tell you that right now. I've eaten food since I stated on my vlog that I was going to be fasting. Okay, now we've spoken in the past recently that I'm going to be running for governor of New York. You're going to be my deputy. Lieutenant, sorry. I thought it was deputy governor. All right,
I thought it was just
we'll figure it out. But, okay, Governor Cuomo, not a lot of people know, is on psychoactive medication. He's not of his own control. He's under the care of a psychiatrist. And that's not disclosed to the public, but it should be, because he's a public servant. What I'm going to do, once I've done my fast, which I'm starting again on Sunday, I'm going to get all my blood work done. I'm going to release all my medical records. I don't care about HIPAA. I don't have anything to hide. I'm going to be in the public eye, 100%, no privacy. If somebody's a public servant, they should not have a private servant. They shouldn't have a private side of themselves. Because that's like being a lawyer during the day, or a police officer during the day, and then a criminal at night. You can't have a private side. If you dedicate yourself to public service, you have to be 100% dedicated. And I believe that everybody from Donald Trump to Governor Cuomo to Sir Doyle to Master Lukey has to be completely transparent. Nothing to hide. So we're going to talk about what medications you're on. That's going to be filled in, because we're also going to talk about how that happens and how we can transition to a natural way of living. No drugs, no surgery. That's the certification that I have. I can help people heal from any condition outside of something called a dismemberment, or like if you get a severe laceration, I'm gonna say go to the hospital, get that sewed up or whatever. But if you get a tummy ache, if you have stress, if you have heart disease, diabetes, cancer, autism, depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, whatever it is, if it's outside of a car accident, I'm going to help you do that, heal that with no drugs. So that's a little bit about where I'm coming from and why Sir Doyle has entrusted me, because I'm not corrupt. The worst thing I did in the last month was eat health food. instead of do fasting. And I'm working on that. I believe I still have a parasitic infection from being raised on, not health food my whole life. I have some deep-seated issues that I'm dealing with. But there's a full moon at the end of this month, and I'm going to do something called a turpentine treatment, which basically causes the intestine to squeeze itself out, just like you would squeeze out a pimple. And I'm going to get rid of those parasites. But I have to basically get rid of what's called the false lining. So you ever like pick your nose and there's boogies in there? Or even if there's not boogies, there's like a mucous membrane. That's all throughout the whole body. And parasites live in between that and our self. And they could actually burrow into our intestine. So you have to get rid of the false lining first, which is why I have to do fasting to dissolve that, poop it all out. Then the parasite will be exposed, kind of like the head of a pimple. And then I can do this turpentine solution and squeeze those suckers out. And the reason why I believe I have a parasitic infection is because I know that I feel better when I don't eat, but something is causing me to crave, and then after I eat, I can't control it, and after I eat, I feel bloated, and I regret it. And
Kind of
it's
like when you ejaculate over a woman.
Okay.
You want to.
I wouldn't know anything about
urge. I used to when I was younger, and you ejaculate, and you finally release yourself, and then you feel guilty because you did it.
Yeah, that's called spilling the cup of Hermes. Supposedly, it was the true story of Samson and Delilah, and also Adam and Eve.
No, that was cut hair. They cut hair.
Samson
Adam and
was
Eve,
supposedly a Nazarite, which was a sect of Judaism who practiced chastity. So some people say that story was a metaphor, that cutting his hair was actually her causing him to, ejaculate. Then he lost all his strength.
I know that Adam and Eve was an apple. That was a forbidden fruit.
Yeah. So I don't compromise on health. I don't compromise on issues of right and wrong, and that's why I believe I'll be a good politician or a good public servant. And that's why Sir Doyle has chosen me to be his healthcare proxy here. So let's just try and shuffle through these papers so we don't take too long. We have, let's see, ways to enroll, summary of benefits, checklist, dental handbook, gym flyer. Okay, this is ready to enroll. What's next? Benefit advisor tool, healthcare proxy form, page 103.
They would have given you nuts of a hard time if you had your paperwork with you last time.
Okay, patient name. Let me just make sure, because there's a carbon copy. Okay, there's a carbon form here. Patient name. Richard.
Doyle.
Richard. Is there a middle name?
Stephen.
Stephen Doyle. Okay, hereby I, Richard Stephen Doyle, hereby appoint Luke Joseph Kumo. Then it says my phone number, my address here, as my healthcare agent to make any and all healthcare decisions for me, except to the extent that I state otherwise. This proxy shall take effect only when and if I become unable to make my own healthcare decisions. Optional, alternate agent. Okay. If the person I appoint is unable, unwilling, or unavailable, I hereby appoint. Okay, we don't have anything for that. Unless I revoke it or state an expiration date or circumstances under which it will expire, this proxy shall remain in effect indefinitely. Okay?
Okay.
So this says, this proxy shall expire, specified date or conditions. We're going to leave that blank because it says, unless I revoke it or state an expiration date,
Yeah.
this proxy shall remain in effect indefinitely. Okay. Optional. I direct my healthcare agent to make healthcare decisions according to my wishes and limitations, as he or she knows, or as stated below. Okay. So, it says as he or she knows, or as stated below, so we don't have to write as stated below, because I already know.
Yeah.
Alright.
Um,
In order for your agent to make healthcare decisions for you about artificial nutrition and hydration, parentheses, nourishment and water provided by feeding tube and intravenous line, your agent must reasonably know your wishes. You can either tell your agent what your wishes are or include them in this section. See instructions for sample language that you could use if you choose to include your wishes on this form, including your wishes about artificial nutrition and hydration. So, if you can't eat and they got you on a feeding tube and intravenous line, what do you think about that? Because this says you can tell me.
got comments already.
You have a comment? Bubba Joe, why is the fungus in strawberries bad for the gut flora, and are raspberries a viable source of nutrition? Okay, so first of all, I'll just go backwards. Raspberries are life food. Yep, they're good. Raspberries are good. So why is mold and fungus and yeast bad for you? Well, not that it's bad, although it is bad. All those organisms have excrement. So you have healthy bacteria, and the relationship of healthy bacteria is that it produces substance that we then get nutrition from. We don't actually absorb directly from the food that we eat. What we absorb comes from the healthy bacteria. And that's the same process that happens in the soil. And you can look that up in a movie that I've posted on my vlog, which is called, I think it's Kiss the Ground. It's all about how our health and the health of the environment is connected to how farming practices affect the soil quality. And it has to do with bacteria. So, you need bacteria in the gut. And strawberries and other live food does break down into healthy bacteria. So they're called prebiotics. When you eat health food, you're eating prebiotic food, because that breaks down into healthy bacteria, which then cause a process to happen in the gut that results in our nutrition. The problem is this: everything has a life cycle. So bacteria does die. And when bacteria dies, it has to turn over to the other side. So you have the light and the dark, the yin and the yang. Mold is the other side. It's the beginning of the other side. So when you have bacteria, it breaks down into virus particles. What they would call virus particles, Jubb calls them spore. So when bacteria break down into spore, that spore can either form again in certain conditions back to healthy bacteria, or it can, in other conditions, turn into mold. What's up, Al? So today we're filling out the healthcare proxy form for Sir Doyle. He's putting me in charge of his health in the case that he's unable to do that for himself. You know, in case whatever. So now mold, to go back to Bubba Joe, he wants to know why the mold in strawberries is bad. Okay, so Now look, you have penicillin that comes from cantaloupe, and you have healthy bacteria that does something called eco-sterilize. So it basically creates an environment where unhealthy bacteria can't live. Has to do with alkalinity and other, it has to do with electrical charge, has to do with antioxidants. You create a healthy environment in the gut, which is like a forest. Now, mold doesn't really grow in the forest because there's so much healthy fungus in the form of mushroom, in the form of rhizosomes, in the root system. The roots are all covered in healthy bacteria and fungus and in the soil. So you don't get much mold. But when you have dead material, it has to turn over, right? Has to be recycled. And so mold actually is what does that. So it's not that the strawberry is going from strawberry to mold. What's happening is it's breaking down, and then the mold is
coming out.
The mold is coming from the breakdown product to recycle that. And because of the condition, mold is the only organism that can survive in that acidity and other things. Now, you have to have a certain amount of healthy bacteria. You're also going to have a certain amount of candida. You can't not have mold because there's always die-off. Nothing lives forever. You can't not have candida, okay? But you can't have an overgrowth of mold or fungus or yeast. You have to have a healthy balance. This is called a biome. It's called a microbiota. It's called an ecosystem. It's called a biofilm.
Mesody?
Yeah.
You know, off target of what we're trying to do here?
What?
We're getting all off target of what we
Yeah,
want to
no, I
do.
was just answering the topic of Bubba Joe. So, why is the fungus in strawberries bad? The excrement of unhealthy organisms is called mycotoxin. And mycotoxin is a nerve constrictor, so it stops energy from flowing as well as what it can, and we have more nerves connected to the intestine than connected to the spinal cord.
A lot of nerves.
Now you can look that up. So what does that mean? That means that the gut is the primary brain. So most all conditions, including yours, Sir Doyle, is caused by a gut condition and not something wrong with the brain. So that's why we're going to talk about what you got going on, the medication that you take, how that's caused by a molding of the gut, and how we can turn that around.
All right.
All right, I hope that answered your question, Bubba. It's not that mold is bad, although it is. It's that there's too much. So you have to bring up your ability to eco-sterilize, and the organ that does that through bile, which eco-sterilizes the gut, is the liver. The liver produces bile salts, which alkalizes the intestinal tract and creates a situation where mold cannot exist. It's like scrubbing bubbles for the intestinal tract. Bile salts. But your liver got clogged up and the bile bladder is chock full of stones, which is like a waxy deposit. So instead of a faucet of bile, you have barely even a trickle. And so food takes too long, and so you have that strawberry that's turning into mold instead of being pooped out in time. Okay, it takes time to turn to mold. All through that process, you could be absorbing nutrition through the healthy bacteria, but if it takes too long, it's going to have to turn around, and that's when you get the overgrowth of mold. Okay, healthcare proxy form. We have your identification. Now, does your ID have the new address on it or the old address?
Old address.
So we're gonna have to get the new address. We're not gonna put that in now.
Okay.
We'll just put Richard Stephen with a PH.
Yeah. Doyle, D-O-Y-L-E.
Doyle. Okay, optional. Organ and or tissue donation.
No.
I hereby make an anatomical gift to be effective upon my death of...
No.
Check any that apply.
None.
If you do not state your wishes or instructions about organ and or tissue donation on this form, it will not be taken to mean that you do not wish to make a donation or prevent a person who is otherwise authorized by law to consent to a donation on your behalf. See, that's tricky. If you listen to the language there. If you don't say anything, it will not be taken to mean that you do not wish to make a donation. That's a double negative there. So what that means is it will be taken to mean that you do wish to make a donation.
Yeah, I'd say you write down.
So we have to say something here. I hereby make an anatomical gift to be effective upon my death of, check any that apply. We're going to check off limitations. Any tissue / organ at all. Parentheses. No donation.
Okay.
Because they see that, those cannibals, they're going to start licking their chops. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay. Statement by a witness. Okay, my dad's going to have to fill that out.
Okay.
Just, what's today's date?
5/6. I'm sorry.
Today's the 12th? No, the 13th.
Today's the 13th.
Yeah, Friday the 13th, baby.
Wow.
What a day.
Friday the 13th, really?
What a day. 11/13/20. Now you got to sign right there.
Okay.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Name of witness. We'll have to get my dad to do that later.
Okay. And when I get my apartment down, we'll put that in.
That's it?
That's it.
Dang. Okay, now, what I wanted to do with this is to talk a little bit about this part right here, which says, I direct my healthcare agent to make healthcare decisions according to my wishes and limitations, as he or she knows, or as stated below. So, I'm not going to write it on this form because I know.
Yeah.
But I do want to write a little bit down so that you know and they know where I'm, what I know.
All right.
All right. So I'm just gonna get a piece of paper.
I got the okay from my nurse practitioner to get the medical marijuana card.
Oh.
Yeah, she said that. She said if I get a medical marijuana card, she can't prescribe it.
Okay.
But she said if I get a card and the doctor prescribes it,
Okay.
she'll go along with it.
Okay. Now.
Which means if I have a card, she won't lock me up for taking it.
All right. Now listen. You're interested in public service.
Yeah.
If you're gonna roll with me on my card,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to do it like I do it.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna be 100% transparent.
All right.
We're gonna release any and all information. Nothing to hide.
Okay.
Okay? So. Tell us right now what medication you're on.
Haldol Dex shot of
Okay, hold on. Haldol?
Dex shot.
Haldol. And that's one thing, Haldol Dex shot?
Yeah, that's 150 milligrams a month.
Alright, hold on. DE. Let me use my phone. Now, I'm not too concerned about the dosage. I just want to see
You know, it's important because
what it's
the
cost.
dose is important.
No, we're getting a general feel. We're not going into the plan yet because we don't live together, so I can't monitor
Alright.
your food like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, it's a minimal dosage of Haldol, very little
Okay.
dosage.
How do my freaking big fingers? I need. You know what I need? You ever see those big phones?
Yeah,
Big phone buttons.
tablet,
Haldol injection.
low dosage.
Deck shot. Decanoate.
Yeah, all right.
Right?
Yeah, 150.
Alright, hold on. I'm looking that up.
150.
Haloperidol. Antipsychotic. It can treat certain types and control symptoms of Tourette syndrome.
Yes,
Okay.
and I have that.
Decanoate.
Decanorate.
Decanoate. Oh, decanoate. Okay. How about decanoate? Okay.
150 milligrams.
Okay, so that's for your Tourette's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clozapine, 75 milligrams twice a
Okay,
day.
hold on. Clozapine. How do you spell that? Do you know?
No.
Alright. Let me look it up. Is it a K or a C?
C, I think.
C? Clozapine. Here we go. Clozapine versus Haldol. Okay. Clozapine. It can treat schizophrenia, lower the risk of suicidal behavior. Okay. You never want to hurt yourself, though.
No.
Alright. So, Vonderloo. You know what? Thank you. That reminds me of something.
What's that?
We got an email, but, let's see. Is clozapine a benzo? It's not Klonopin.
No, it's clozapine.
Okay. Side effects are constipation, sleep problems, dry mouth, blurred vision, drowsiness, dizziness, or headache. See, that's probably why your belly got bigger from the clozapine.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's constipating you. All right, anything else?
I think the Haldol causes shrinkage in the testicles.
All right, but what about your medication? Anything else?
150 milligrams of Haldol
Yeah.
once a
Clozapine?
month. 150.
Right. Clozapine?
And clozapine, 75 milligrams a day,
Okay.
twice a day.
Okay. That's it?
That's it. I know I take propanol for the heart.
Okay, spell that. Propanol?
Propanol.
Hold on.
Propanol.
Propanolol.
Propanol.
Doll? There's a D in there?
I think.
Because this says Proprana.
Is it for the heart? Is it for the heart?
OLOL.
Is that for the heart?
Let's see. Propanolol oral tablet reduces your heart's workload.
That's it, yeah.
And helps it beat more regularly.
Right.
It's used to treat high blood pressure. Chest pain and uneven heartbeat.
Glycopyrrolate is for side effects of drugs.
Say that again?
Glycopyrrolate.
That's another thing you take?
That's side effects.
Oh. Side effects? It says can also treat tremors and proliferating infantile hemangioma. In addition, it can prevent migraine headaches. You don't get headaches.
No.
But it's interesting how it says tremors here because that could be connected to your tics. Okay, so I'm just let me put the camera over here like this.
So, governor's on antipsychotics?
Yeah.
Yes.
Governor Cuomo is on psychotic medication. Yeah, that's right.
Wow, I didn't know that. He has to talk about it?
Let's see. Let's see if he openly admits that.
Also take,
What medication does Andrew Cuomo take?
I found this on the web.
No, it doesn't say anything. What do you say?
I take, metformin for diabetes.
Okay,
pre-diabetes.
metformin.
Metformin to lower blood sugar.
Metformin for diabetes. Okay.
I'm a pre-diabetic. I'm a borderline
Yeah.
diabetic.
All right. So, what we have here is a list of medications that we're gonna. Kevin, what's up? He says, "What's up?"
What's up, Kevin?
Today we filled out Sir Doyle's healthcare proxy form, where if he ever is unable to speak up for himself in a medical venue, then I become in charge of all his health decisions. We we already filled out the part where we said we don't want him to be an organ donor, because I believe that any of those sickos that see that, they automatically put you on the fast track to get
Yep.
to get those organs. You know, they want to get them out of you. The other thing we did was we said that the two of us were going for public service, so we have nothing to hide. I already said that I've been eating. Now, I don't eat anything that's not Life Food certified. I haven't in probably over 8 years. I don't remember when the last time was, but I've said, I've said it for the past few years, and I've said it for probably the past 5 years, so it's longer than that. And I think when I first started saying it, it had already been a few years. So I know that the last time for sure that I had any meat was in 2008. So that's 12 years ago. But then when I
gave up meat. and
when I
cheese.
got in trouble with my ex-wife, that was from a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the grains, the wheat in the bread, and the aflatoxin and other elements in the peanut made me very irritable, and turned a situation that was bad into a situation that was really bad, and that was in 2013.
You don't believe in peanut butter?
No, peanuts is not on the list. No, it's toxic.
Oh.
That was 2013, so that's 7 years ago. Okay, so maybe it hasn't been 8 years. Definitely more than 5. So we'll say, 5 to 7 years. We'll say over 5 years. I haven't eaten anything that's not on the Life Food Certified list. You can see that list on lifefoodcertified.com if you click on where it says ingredients.
I don't eat any meat. No poultry. There's chicken and turkey. I don't eat that. I don't eat beef. I don't eat pork. I don't eat cheese. I try to stay away from cheese. I don't eat egg products.
Nice. You're getting there.
I'm getting there. I'm not there yet,
And
but I'm
that's
getting there.
and that's all because of our connecting and me influencing you to make better health decisions. We have one of our viewers, Vonderloo, says you look better than you used to as far as your ticks.
She remembers?
Your ticks. Vonderloo, I don't know if that's a guy or a girl, says your ticks are better.
Yeah, they are.
And now, would you say that you're on more, less, or the same medication that you were last year?
Last year, before I got off all the medication, I was on more than I'm on now.
So you're on less medication now, but you have less ticks than you used to.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I remember too when I was off all the medicine, I was going through withdrawal symptoms. So That might have been ticks for us too.
Mm.
Because the withdrawal symptoms, you can't get off medicine right away.
Yeah, I mean you could, but you also have to do a serious cleanse. It's like if you have a sink that you have to empty out, you have to get the plug. You have to get the drain to be completely open. Otherwise, it's not going to drain out fast enough. And the longer that water sits in the sink, the more it's going to be, kind of yucky.
Yeah.
That represents your condition. If you really want to clean really fast, you want to clean your situation up really fast, you can avoid most all withdrawal symptoms, but you really have to be like pooping 3, 4, 5 times a day for weeks.
Yeah,
but we have to get the system to work first. And that requires you first to change your menu, to flush out your liver. I did all that, so I haven't eaten junk food. I flushed my liver all the way out, and then now I'm doing a serious cleansing where I'm not even eating, or that's what I'm working on. So I have eaten in the past few weeks, and because of that, I haven't been vlogging for 2 reasons. One, having to digest takes my energy down so far that I barely can function. And thank God I haven't eaten any junk food, because then I don't know what I would do. But just because of eating, my energy gets low from having to digest. The other reason is, I felt guilty that I told everybody that I'm going to be fasting, and then I didn't get there all the way. So, anyway, I'm starting again. I'm really going to do it this time, I swear to God.
Don't swear to God. Don't swear to God.
I promise.
Because if it don't happen, you're swearing
Alright,
against
I
God.
promise everybody. I promise everybody that I'm gonna start again on Sunday. Okay, Vonderloo says, really, Sir Doyle appears more calm now and relaxed. And Vonderloo doesn't eat eggs or dairy either because of allergies.
Wow.
Well, allergies is like, it's like a term. It's a term that people use, but really the term should be that those things are toxic, and you don't have a tolerance for toxicity that some people do. Some people can tolerate more toxins than others. So I wouldn't say that you have allergies, because that's like, there's nothing wrong with you, Vonderloo. It's just that you're sensitive to garbage. Let's just say that. You're sensitive. It's like, when somebody's intuitive, or they're really sensitive, and then somebody comes in the room and they're like really high strung, or they just have a shitty energy, that person's going to feel that more. It's not because there's something wrong with the person who's sensitive. It's because the other person's acting like an asshole, or, maybe they smell or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could say allergies, or you could say that eggs and dairy is garbage. Let's just
Eggs
say
and dairy
that.
is garbage.
It is. You're not supposed to eat that stuff.
I mean, I'll occasionally, if I don't have anything else to eat, I'll have a bean and cheese burrito from 7-Eleven. But I try to stay away from that because...
Kevin, I found my uncle on the floor on Monday, bleeding on the brain, had surgery, his right side is weak. Sorry, man. Sorry to hear that, Kevin. Kurt, what's up, dude? Kurt says, what's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
Kurt.
What's up, Kurt?
Is that Kurt from California? The hero? My man. What's going on in California? They still got the fires going on? I'm out of the loop. I've just been distracted by COVID and the freaking president race. Kevin is the health proxy for his uncle. I see.
Oh, okay. He knows.
God bless. God
and
bless.
he knows what we're doing here.
God bless.
He's a healthcare proxy, too.
Okay, so let's get back to Sir Doyle's healthcare proxy. Thanks for taking us back on track. Kurt says, yeah, I'm in South California right now fighting wildfires. Wow. And then Vonderloo says, My dad also had a brain bleed. Yeah, so in terms of um, what's called biofeedback, where you have mom is an egg, dad is a sperm, they come together, they make one cell. Every cell in your body comes from that cell. So you have the one cell splits into two, one becomes the brain upstairs, and one is the brain of the gut. So any brain bleed up here, it first starts in a breakdown of the intestinal wall. And that's a primary condition that people have from a molding that I believe Kevin brought up in the beginning. When you have a mold that's not taken care of, it grows more into fungus, and that fungus grows roots, and those roots can break through the intestinal wall, and that can cause a weakening. It can cause brain tumors. If people are constipated and they go on drugs, that like antibiotics and stuff like they got Sirdoil on, the intestine can be weakened and stretched to the point where it actually bursts or cracks. Like if you ever had athlete's foot, okay, and the skin cracks, that can happen to the intestine. And you can have bleeding out in the intestine. And I have a situation like that where it's not necessarily bleeding out, but I have injuries down there. And let's see. You can heal that. It's called a leaky gut syndrome. You can heal that, but you do have to, I'm sorry to say that most people are not going to, like uncles, and dads and things like that. It's just, just what I'm mentioning here is just how, I would do it if I was able to help somebody like that. So, Kurt says, is the root of most health conditions from mucus or mitochondria, like the origin, or different? The root of health issues, there's two. There's low amplitude of electricity, which, if you can imagine a rose or a rose petal, if it's healthy, it's kind of like moist and bright, and if it had a low electricity, it would be a dim color, and it would start to get brittle. So that's tissue breakdown from low electricity, and that can be caused by even somebody speaking, but it can be caused by mycotoxins, which we mentioned before being the excrement of mold in the gut, and those mycotoxins affecting the nerves that are connected to every other part of the body. So you can have a condition of the gut that can be expressed anywhere else, in the eyes, in the skin, in the face, in the hair, in the heart, in the joints. The root and the other cause. So you have low amplitude of electricity, and you have, that's called enervation, and you also have toxicity. So you could even have a situation where there's no toxicity, but you can still have disease. But then let's just be honest, most disease is caused by people bringing in garbage.
Yeah.
And that toxicity could be eaten, it could be inhaled from the chemtrails, or car exhaust, or people spraying
Now, the medical
paint
marijuana,
out there.
medical marijuana is what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, so now I'm gonna look up your medication here. We have Tourette's, and we have pre-diabetic condition,
Pre-diabetic.
and you
And
have
also-
schizo.
And
So those are the three things that you're diagnosed with.
oh yeah, so, I'm also diagnosed with PTSD
Okay, you have PTSD,
and
you have
bipolar.
Tourette's, you have bipolar, you have pre-diabetic,
Pre-diabetic.
and the other one was schizo.
I also take Metformin for.
We have metformin on the list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sites and see if any of these are able to be prescribed medical marijuana in New York.
Well, no, my what do you call it? My nurse practitioners, I can get it.
Your nurse practitioner said you can get it, but did she say you qualify?
She said that.
You have to get a prescription from somebody
Yeah.
else. That's the thing.
That's true.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to look into. And then if this does qualify, because they have a list in New York.
I'm not really schizo, so you don't have to.
But you've been diagnosed with it.
Yeah.
So we're going to use that to our advantage. I know that you're not schizo.
Oh, that'll be our advantage?
If we say that you've been diagnosed with schizophrenia, and they say you can take medical marijuana for schizophrenia.
Yeah, but the thing is that they might not give it for schizophrenia.
But they might give it for Tourette's. They might give it for bipolar.
Right. So
and they
I
might
wouldn't
give
put
it
the
for-
schizophrenia down because
I'm not putting anything down. I'm just gonna look it up. Hold on, my son's calling me. Yo, what's up? No,
Yes.
we're gonna keep it to Eclipse.
No, I have a really good name. Show that. I don't see what he named.
We're not changing your name, kid.
We're not changing it to Zach on crack. We're gonna keep it on as Eclipse. Ooh, what's that? What the hell? Is that a penis?
A PP.
Ew.
I want it to be like because I'm goated and I'm crap.
Bro, why can't you just wait till tomorrow?
Because he's addicted. Doesn't want to waste time. I don't want to do that.
Alright. Let me finish up my broadcast. Are you playing right now?
Yeah, I'm logging on right now.
Alright, I'll see you in a little bit.
Alright.
Love you guys.
So I got a lot of people saying I changed.
okay.
I was saying.
Okay, so now. So we're just writing up a form here. Now, the page that we're looking at, it said, follow the advice of the healthcare proxy as he knows or as written here on the form. So what I just want to do is talk a little bit about what I know and relate it back to the conditions that we have here, because as we just learned, or as we've been talking about, everything connects to the gut, especially conditions of the brain upstairs, because all the neurotransmitters, which is what actually conducts the electricity through the brain to create a full circuit, they're all made in health in that relationship of healthy bacteria and our cells. So anything that's going on upstairs that's not optimal has to do with that gut condition. So we're going to change the menu. We're going to clean the liver out so then that organ can wash the intestine and then create an environment where the healthy bacteria are going to thrive and push out what's called eco-sterilize against the unhealthy bacteria, the unhealthy organisms, which is mold, fungus, and yeast. So if you have mold, fungus, and yeast, you're going to have Tourette's, bipolar, schizophrenia, and prediabetes. Now, prediabetes is more about the pancreas, but also it has to do with the things that I'm going to say now. Okay, so this is the no list. So we're going to have a list here of no. These are things that if you want to heal, you do not eat. Okay, number one thing for brain conditions is grains. No grains. And there's an interesting book you might look up. How often do you do a liver flush? If you've never done a liver flush, you should do one a week until it's all gone. And what happens is some people if they don't prepare properly, they might not get anything out on the first flush. I've had, for example, my girlfriend Janie, when she used to come, she was complaining she didn't get any stones out because she only came for 3 days, and you know, she was eating a certain way. When she got here, she was constipated. It took her 3 days of eating my menu to go to the bathroom. She finally went to the bathroom after 3 days, and then she tried to do a flush, but it takes time for the organs and the body to become pliable, to become soft. If you're demineralized, if you're eating garbage wherever you're at, and the body is kind of seized, and those stones are going to be hard to get rid of. So you have to do castor packs or drink castor oil. You have to take in apple cider vinegar, which is going to soften the stones. This is called preparation. You have to prepare for a flush. Now, some people, they do a flush and they just pound Epsom salt. And that might work because it has high magnesium, although I don't take that because it is toxic. And I noticed that in the days following, if I ever do Epsom salt, I'm just super tired for a few days until I can build my minerals back up. But there's different programs out there. The one I do it because it was designed by my teacher, Dr. Jubb, and it was designed in a way that you can carry on a normal life. I can do a liver flush and still train for fighting. Dr. Jubb designed his program that a pregnant person can do it. A pregnant person should not do magnesium sulfate, which is Epsom salt, because it's an isolate. It's actually toxic. It will cause the liver to open up, and it will cause you to shit your life away. And that might be an option for you if you just want to completely flush out. If you want to look that up, look up the liver flush with Epsom salt. A lot of people do that. It was designed by, that program's designed by Andreas Moritz. He's fucking dead though, because he didn't know about life food, or he did know about life food, but he didn't do Jubb's program. He just took little pieces of it. He learned the liver flush from Jubb, from my teacher, and he did like a brown rice version, which is the number one thing we're putting on this no list. No grains. Okay? So Vonderloo says no bread. Well, I wouldn't say that because I make bread out of quinoa. And you can do that. And that's actually really good for Sir Doyle because he likes pizza. So I make pizza out of quinoa and chia. Alright? But we're not going to make pizza out of wheat. So we got no grain. That's wheat. That's barley. That's rice.
I have eggplant heroes without the cheese.
Yeah, the wheat's really bad. That's gonna make your belly get even bigger, and that's gonna cause you to have to take Haldol and clozapine and propranolol.
So the wheat and that shouldn't even take that.
Yeah, if you could get eggplant without the sandwich.
Yeah.
Get a nice eggplant dish, you know.
With tomato sauce.
The tomato sauce, yep. And then I could get you some pumpkin parmesan for cheese.
Oh yes.
All right. Okay. Wheat, barley, rice. Those are the major grains, but you have other ones that people try and sneak in there, like what is it? I think it's called farro or something. Kamut. You know, these are all at the very best. Oats, that's another one. Thank you. Oats.
Like Cheerios.
Yeah, Cheerios is made out of wheat. That's no
it
good.
is? Not oats?
Yeah. No, oats is no good. Think of it as if you need a 10. If you need a 10 or in neurophysiology, they call it the 78% all or nothing principle. You need a 78% charge to cross the barrier, otherwise the charge doesn't get there. So if you need basically an 8, 7.8, if you need an 8 to get going, to be healthy, you need an 8. Okay, oats is not an 8. Oats might be a 6. Okay, wheat and rice and barley, that's below 5.
Rice is no good either?
Rice is no good. No, it makes you dry it out.
What lo mein?
Lo mein is made out of wheat, or you can also get it made out of rice. You know.
What's lo mein good or no? Not good.
What you can do is you can make lo mein out of zucchini, like I do.
Yeah.
You can also make noodles out of buckwheat, which is healthy. That's called soba, but it's a special. It's a special type of soba that you can only get at certain markets.
So if I go to the Italian restaurant to get eggplant, I should just get the eggplant without the bread.
Get the eggplant plain, yeah.
Only with tomato sauce.
Yeah. The eggplant and the sauce. Any kind of vegetables with sauce is good. You want to stay away from grains. That's wheat, barley, rice, oats. Let's go on to cereals. Okay, that's corn.
What about Chipotle grill? The Chipotle grill, the Mexican grill.
Oh wait, hold on. I just thought of something. What's the one? Oh, polenta. Polenta. I think that's made out of wheat.
Chipotle.
Chipotle. You're not gonna really.
Grill, it's a Mexican grill.
Yeah, you're not gonna really find much that's good in there. There's a few vegetables, but.
Well, I usually have like spices, and I have guacamole, and I have different kinds of vegetables in there. I don't have any meat.
Yeah. But they probably put corn in there.
Yeah, they did put corn.
That's no good.
But you tell them that's what the corn.
Yeah. I mean, if you're eating at chain restaurants, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm gonna have to rely on some things that are bad because I don't.
You just do the best you can, Sir Doyle, and you're doing a great job, as everybody has noticed so far.
Thanks.
Okay. Now the cereals, I can't think of any more besides corn, but that's gonna transition into the hybrids. Now these all fit under starch, which has a runaway sugar, which does end up causing you to have a pre-diabetic condition. So all grains cause pre-diabetic condition. All corn cause pre-diabetic condition. But grains also have indigestible protein, which is also going to cause schizo and Tourette's. But then also the sugar that's in these starches is going to cause bipolar and Tourette's also. But we're going to start to see how this condition was started when Sir Doyle was very young by his parents who had no idea what they were feeding them. And it wasn't their fault, and it's not your fault. It's nobody's real fault. It's just our responsibility now to fix it. And we're just thankful that you're here, being a model and teaching everybody. And the hybrids, these are things that were kind of like selected by farmers for their sugar content. So people taste a little bit and they said, oh, well, this one tastes better than the other one, and they selectively hybridize these food over time. The other hybrids, now you can't find them in nature anymore because it's been eons that they were selectively hybridizing these, and the natural ones don't exist anymore. So for example, carrot. Carrot is a hybrid of something called Queen Anne's lace. Now you can find a Queen Anne's lace. It's a really little straggly root. It's pale white. It's like an off-white. It's not big, bright and orange. Okay, that's the hybrid GMO version, or even if it's organic, it's a hybrid. And it has a sucrose in it, and it doesn't taste the same.
Now, what about fish? What does that have in it that's bad for you?
Okay, so fish.
That the environment did that to them?
First of all, the fish is a cold water animal.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that they say about fish is that it has the omega fats, and it's good for your brain. Although the intestine is a higher temperature than what the fish is living in. So the fat is seriously degraded in the environment of our intestine, and you don't get the benefit that you think you're getting, because if you eat a fish fat, it doesn't end up as a fish fat where it's supposed to be. It ends up degraded, and it ends up as a net loss. So what you see in a fishmonger, which is somebody who lives, who fishes and basically lives off their product, straggly hair, because the essential fats are not there. See, we need essential fats to be produced by our intestinal flora. And if you get them from fish, they're going to be broken down and a lower quality. The other thing that fish has is parasites, okay, which causes you to crave it. And the other thing that fish has is what's called the protein vitamin eater, because the protein is cooked. The body has to use its own protein vitamins, which process protein, and it's too much protein, and you end up with low B6, which is something that I read about on my last stream. If you go back one video,
I remember that.
if you go back one video, you're gonna learn all about why fish is not good, and just go re-watch that video and learn about why it's robbing you of B6 and what that can result in. But the major thing about the fish is the fats, the B6, like we just said, the parasites, and the heavy metal toxicity, which is concentrated in all animal products. And even though fish, is on a scale of 1 to 10, meat and chicken is a 1 or a 2, fish is maybe a 3, so it's slightly better, but it's still not as good as other things that we can take. But like we said, you're doing the best you can. We appreciate it. Keep on going. Don't ever settle. Don't stay where you're at. Keep on getting better. Don't eat carrots. Don't eat potatoes.
Carrots? No carrots?
No carrots, no potatoes.
Carrots are bad for you?
Yes, no bananas. These are all hybrids. These are all man-made organisms.
I didn't know carrots are bad for you.
All man-made organisms that don't exist in nature anymore.
They're not in nature anymore, the carrots?
Carrot is a hybrid of something called Queen Anne's lace. It's like saying what's the little pocketbook dog? A Shih Tzu?
Yeah.
A Shih Tzu used to be a wolf. A wolf would be Queen Anne's lace. The Shih Tzu is the carrot. One can exist in the wild. One would barely even exist one day out in nature. You know what I'm saying? So if you bring in genetic integrity, which is everything that's on the Life Food Certified list, you're bringing in something that has the DNA to survive in nature. You're bringing that strength into you. Or if you bring in these weak Shih Tzu-like carrots, corn, potato, banana,
No
you're
potatoes
going to get
at
that.
all. Why sweet potatoes?
Beets.
Why sweet
Okay,
potatoes?
sweet potatoes a little better. It's still not above a 5.
Oh.
That's causing high blood sugar, and that's gonna exacerbate your condition. Okay, we have beets. These are all hybrids of something that used to exist in nature. Corn, carrots, banana,
Beets are no
potato, beets. Yep. Pineapple.
They're no good? Pineapple's no good?
Pineapple's no good. Look on my list to see what's good. It's on my website. Okay, let's see. Do we have anything else here? Corn, carrots, bananas, beets, potatoes, cashews. Okay, cashew is like a we're gonna put that in the category of legumes and beans. I don't know if it technically classifies as that, but these all have
Beans are no good?
all beans. Okay, that's cannellini beans, that's chickpeas, that's red beans, that's black beans. They have an indigestible protein which does cross the blood-brain barrier if you have a leaky gut syndrome and causes psychosis.
Wow.
Okay, you have
Huh?
beans, you have peanuts.
I mean, you're
Okay.
talking about peanuts.
Now, cashews, beans, peanuts. All right, those are indigestible proteins. Now we're gonna go on to the yes list. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go from the no list and we're gonna translate. Okay, so instead of grains, okay, so Vonderloo, instead of peanut butter, go to almond butter. Don't do cashews, but do macadamia nut butter. Do pumpkin seed butter.
Walnut.
Peanut, walnut. Yeah, I think they make a walnut butter. Yep, sunflower butter.
I like walnut milk.
Okay, so let's just go. Instead of wheat, we have buckwheat.
Buckwheat's good.
Buckwheat is the seed of a rutabaga plant. Okay, that's a complete protein, believe it or not. And no,
But alfalfa swiza.
what's that?
Alfalfa swiza.
Alfalfa sprouts?
Alfalfa swiza.
Oh, I see. From the what is that?
Little Rascals.
Little Rascals. There you go. Buckwheat. You have amaranth. Now these are called pseudo cereals. They're actually not grains. Some people call them ancient grains, but they're not grains at all. So the difference would be that grains are the seed of a grass, okay? And these things, which are called pseudo cereals, they're seeds of a flowering plant. And that's a small but big difference. It's a small difference that could be the difference between 77 and 79%. And that's the difference between something being healthy and something not being healthy. There was a study that says if you have an 80% life food meal, that you won't have an immune response in the gut. If you have 80% life food, you won't have an immune response in the gut. If you have under 80% life food, then you're going to have mucus, you're going to have these...
You only need 80%, you know it's 27% can be bad?
You can have a 20% slip up and you'll still be on the net positive.
Well, okay.
Yeah. So these are pseudo cereals. You have buckwheat, you have amaranth, okay, you have millet, you have chia. These are all seeds. Look them up. Look up the flour that they produce. You have quinoa. Okay, now any product. What's up, Zach? Okay, he's got the new name now. Zach on Crack.
Why?
He changed his name to Zach on Crack.
Do that. That's not good.
We don't like crack because
No, you don't. You're not Zach on Crack.
you don't know what actually crack really is.
You're not Zach on Crack, young man.
He
no.
thinks that crack is like on his video game. It's like when a kid is like just super.
Let me tell you something,
really
Zach. You know what crack is?
Yeah, I know.
Crack is a
He says
a substance that gives you makes you skinny, makes your teeth turn black, all kinds of horrible
drug,
things.
But the kids are talking about a video game. All right, so Kevin says, what about kimchi and sauerkraut? Yes, very healthy, as long as the ingredients are all from the Life Food Certified list. Now, the things that they might put in those two recipes, which wouldn't be good, would be if they put sugar in it, if they put the wrong kind of salt. So look up Celtic salt, put that in your recipe, or some other type of sun-dried sea salt. Don't put carrots in there. Put radish in there. Kimchi is really good if you can make it with the cabbage, right? Is it the Napa cabbage? I think it's the Napa cabbage. You can put radish. You can put onion. Obviously the hot pepper. Okay, he changed to Zach the Goat now. I like Eclipse, man.
Zach the Goat?
Or Cracked Zach? I don't know.
No, not Crack Zach. No Crack Zach. No Crack Zach. This, I'm telling you, don't call yourself that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Alright, let's wrap this up. Yeah, so sauerkraut and kimchi is really good. It's probiotic, it's prebiotic. And the best thing is, the reason why it is good is because, cabbage by itself is hard to digest, but when you make it into a kimchi or a sauerkraut, it starts to break down and it becomes easier to digest. So the cultures that have pickles and those type of recipes in it, they have the lowest incidence of blood sugar challenges like diabetes and alcoholism. Look that up. So the pseudo cereals instead of grains, you have buckwheat, amaranth, millet, chia, quinoa, and any recipe that normally would be made from wheat, barley, rice, or oats can be made with these other pseudo cereals. Okay? So instead of corn, you're going to look up the flour of these, buckwheat flour, millet flour, quinoa flour. You can also do almond flour. Okay, so instead of beans and peanuts, you do almonds. So let's put that on there. Almonds. Macadamias. What other kind of nuts? Sunflower seeds. That's not a nut, but sunflower. Walnut. Pumpkin seed. I'm just going over things that you can get in your supermarket. Hazelnut. Oh, you talk about a milk.
Yeah.
You ever have hazelnut milk? Oh, that is amazing.
That's good.
Hemp seed is a good one. Although it's hard to get, but what's another one?
How about hazelnut and coffee?
Yes, amazing. Hazelnut milk.
Don't let him
Flax.
call himself Zach on crack.
Flax.
Don't let him call himself Zach on crack.
Alright, he wants to be Zach the Goat now, so we'll stick with
Zach
that.
the Goat is good.
The Goat means greatest of all time.
Okay.
Although you haven't won any tournaments yet, so how are you the Goat? Huh? I like Eclipse. Eclipse is cool. He called himself Eclipse because it's like, darkening out the sun or something.
Yeah.
It's like he's coming.
Yeah.
He's coming to kill ya. In Fortnite. Flax. What else? Okay, so now, as far as the hybrids go, instead of carrot, we're gonna do radish. Okay, because you get that juicy crunch.
What is the governor on? I'm interested in that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look that up. He's on definitely anti-anxiety medication, but he's controlled. He's somebody like what they would call a super soldier or an MK Ultra,
Yeah.
where they brainwash them under drugs and they get them to be enslaved so that they follow along with the plan, and they're controlled by controlling the drugs. The person has to do what they want.
Super soldier?
Yeah, super soldier and MK Ultra. Now that can be good. You could be a good super soldier, or you could be a bad super soldier.
Yeah.
The technology exists on both sides.
Alright.
Let's see. So instead of carrot, we do radish. Instead of potato, we do squash. So what's a squash? A squash is a pumpkin, zucchini, a butternut, acorn. I got an acorn squash over here. We got kabocha squash is my favorite. If you like sweet potato, try and get some kabocha squash. You can steam that up. It tastes amazing. Okay, banana. There really isn't a replacement one-for-one for banana, but if you have a recipe that you're using banana for, ask me. Oh, dates. Dates is another one that's high glycotic. It's not live food. A date is a hybrid.
Is it good?
No. Fig. Instead of date, you use figs. Okay? You use apricot. Apricot's another replacement for date. Dried apricot. Any kind of dried fruit's good. As long as it's not a seedless. Like raisins, you have to be careful because most of the raisins come from seedless grapes. And that's going to ferment in your gut. Beets. We're gonna have to go back to the radish on that one. There's three kind of radishes. The little red one. There's the daikon. That's the long white one. And there's the black radish. That's the best one. It's white on the inside, but it's black on the outside. That's also known as the Spanish radish. Just forgot the one that I was gonna say. Oh, celery. Celery is a good replacement for.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You do or you don't?
No, I like it in my tuna. I like it in my tuna.
Okay. Yeah, because it has a cellular salt in there, so it has a good flavor.
I like it in my tuna. That's about it. I don't like the other.
Celery is good replacement for something that is a bit salty and juicy, like.
I can't eat tuna, so I wouldn't eat. The only time I eat celery is through tuna.
So instead of pineapple, you have melon.
Melon's good.
No seedless, but you have cantaloupe, you have watermelon, you have different types of melons. Dates we went over. Beans. You're gonna go with the nuts. Oh, Brazil nuts. That's a good one. Brazil nuts. I have a recipe for refried beans using Brazil nuts. So take a screenshot of here if you want. If you want to just get that. I have a more complete list on lifefoodcertified.com. But, I was on Facebook the other day getting harassed by vegans because I criticized one of the recipes that a big vegan, he has like 100,000 followers. He said, this is the healthiest recipe. It was all full of bananas and soy and peanuts. I said, that's not healthy at all. And then I started getting attacked by vegans because they're all addicted to bananas, rice. That's all vegans eat. Cashews. Not only is it not good for a human animal, but it's also not good for the environment. Look up what's going on to the banana plantations now in Asia. They're all molding. They're all turning to mold. They lost the genetic integrity. The banana that you buy today is nothing like the original banana. There's no seeds, and it can barely grow by itself, and they're all failing. There won't be any bananas anymore after a while. The good thing is that nature does balance itself out, but the bad thing is that nothing lives forever. So, you do have to navigate this narrow corridor that is life. Okay?
Bananas used to be good.
A banana used to have seeds, and it was very.
Just like fish used to be good.
It was very hard to digest.
And fish used to be good, right?
A human animal was never designed to eat fish. As a primate.
What about Jesus? He ate fish.
So Doyle, I'm gonna play video games with my son now. So when you come out, let's wrap it up.
All right.
Guys, thanks for watching today. If you have any questions, ask them now, or just message me. I have all my contact info on masterluki.com, about page. I also have all my social media up there, so you can contact me 24/7. I have been trying to sleep, although when I do fasting, I sleep better. So I might have to put my phone on silent at night. But I care to help you guys. I just want to shout out to Hawaii Surfer, who sent me a giant thing of honey and macadamia nuts. So thank you so much, bro. Thank you to Rick, who's been training and flushing really hard. The guy's ready to be a model.
Wow, a model?
Yeah, he's a good-looking kid, and he's been flushing and training and muscle building. So he's gonna be coming up. Al, thank you for saying, on my last stream yesterday, he said, I'm glad you're back. these little things that are I appreciate because
I
I'm not
want to
in this
thank
for
the
the
people
money.
that remembered me from my show. There are people that made comments to me now and then from when I started the show, Master
Thanks, Al.
Key. Thank you, Al, for your comments. And thank you, what's her name?
Bondaloo.
Bondaloo. Thank you for your comments. Yes, I've got a lot calmer recently because I'm on less medicine and I'm eating better and I'm exercising. Last time you saw me, I probably was on nothing at all, but that's because I was going through withdrawal symptoms. You can't get off like that. And now I'm on much less medication, and I'm eating better, and I'm exercising. Bondaloo, thank you. Thank all our fans, okay, because this was a special episode. Normally we're informative on conspiracy theories or we're comedians, either or. Today we did something different. I'm glad we did because it touched base on things that are going on with me and things going on with a lot of you.
Bondaloo says you're welcome.
Thank you, Bondaloo.
Love for you. So that's it for me. I'm gonna go sign on to Fortnite and play with my son. All right, but good.
If anybody was ever trafficked in a hospital, if anybody was ever abused in a hospital, drugged up in a hospital, any abuse in a hospital or anywhere else, join us at www.hospitalgate.org or #Hospitalgate.
Kevin says you're the man, Sardor. Save the children. That's why we do this.
I hope this message has been informative to you.